What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Project Toyota Rush TRD Sportivo. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Alright, for the first segment of this episode, I'm gonna do a DIY solution to address yet another problem of the Rush. Just minor, that is. Well, this is not exclusive on the Rush, but in fact on most makes and models that have light-colored plastic accents / trimmings for the interior. And this is exactly what I'm referring to. The proneness to fading of the silver accents on the steering wheel and gear console. And the DIY solution is simply topping it off with a clear coat. Mine ain't faded yet, by the way, but I think you'd agree prevention is better than cure. Now on the steps. First, of course, is the clear paint. I have Bosny here, but I think the better choice is LJay London. But don't worry, cause Bosny is also manufactured by LJay London. On a side note, the Yamaha orange candy tone is what you use for amberizing turn signal lamps. Okay, next we pop out the panels. The left and right spokes of the steering wheel have black components that contain the head unit buttons. Simply unscrew to detach them from the silver parts. Now, prep the parts by wiping them with alcohol to remove grease and other impurities. Don't use too much because alcohol can dissolve paint. By the way, you can choose not to sand it anymore because you're just gonna apply a clear coat. And with the prepping done, let's spray. Anyhow, wear a safety mask to prevent you from inhaling the paint. But me, I'm not wearing one here because I just like the smell of acrylic and gasoline. Clearly, don't follow my example. Alright, let them bask in the sun for at least an hour before applying another coat. And depending on what you want, 2 to 3 coats will do. And now, the finished product. However, in this photo, you can't really distinguish the clear coat. But to describe it, the silver parts have become extra glossy. And what matters most is that they are now protected from fading and scratches. By the way, a shout out to Mr. Marwin Alon of TRCP. What he showcased on his thread, on the other hand, was a flat black finish. Okay, I mentioned in my previous episode that the K&N High Flows has already proven itself over the years, so I don't have to do a full review on it. Instead, check out this comprehensive review by Engineering Explained, of which the host Jason tested it against other air filters. Anyway, as per my feedback on the KNN, take note that this is my second one, the other being in my NCP42. So, I expected better acceleration, and without doubt, the high flows delivered. By the way, the acceleration that I'm referring to here is different and separate from throttle response. Like most modern cars, the Rush doesn't operate via the ultra-responsive throttle cable of the past. Instead, it has electronic throttle control, aka drive-by-wire. And Toyota mapped this system with restrictions for better fuel economy. Hence, the so-called delay when you step on the gas pedal. This is the same reason why aftermarket throttle controllers work, because they modify the data coming from the APP, Accelerator Pedal Position Sensor. And speaking of the APP, there is a way to get better throttle response by allowing it to reset/calibrate. And the link to that video is in the description. Credits to Neil Toviera, and also a shout out to Mr. Trix Ahoy, both from RCP. Anyway, as with all diagnostics, debug, developer, etc. modes or features, don't get carried away. Use only when needed and in moderation. Alright, now for the real talk. Recently, as of July 2019, and you might have heard it already, there was a safety recall campaign for the Rush. And I'm gonna read you a few excerpts from Toyota's statement in this Auto Industria article dated July 15. Toyota Rush vehicles produced from April 2, 2018 to Feb 7, 2019 may have issues in the programming of their airbag ECUs. As a result, an impact on the rear wheel when passing a pothole or dent may be misinterpreted as a collision, possibly causing deployment of the curtain shield airbag. Notified customers may proceed to any of our 70 authorized dealerships nationwide for free replacements of the airbag ECU. By the way, the link to this article is in the description. This, on the other hand, is the recall correspondence of Toyota to the Department of Trade and Industry, which is dated June 27 and received by DTI on the 2nd of July. As far as I know, here in the Philippines, no single case of this exact problem happening was ever reported, nor a class action, civil or whatever lawsuit ever being filed prior this recall. Therefore, this is purely preemptive. And this simply illustrates that Toyota has the balls to fully uphold its commitment to customers by taking no chances on safety. Unlike some other makers, who only after cases begin to pile up and create noticeable smoke take action, or none at all. Anyhow, I knew TRD, the name of my Rush by the way, was part of the recall, because I've checked it on Toyota's global database, which you can do as well by keying in your 17-digit VIN/chassis number at the site, of which link I've provided in the description. Okay, so I was just waiting for the call, and as certain as death and taxes, the call came, and I set the schedule on July 25. On a side note, as I featured in my previous episode, my dealership is Toyota Bikutan, Parañaque. Then came the day, and after a rational amount of waiting time, the problem was history. By the way, this is the problematic part, the airbag ECU. Anyway, special thanks to, of course, TBP and my service advisor Mr. LJay Lagahuya here, and Mr. Romy Espiritu of the recall department for a job well done. Now, we arrive at the final feature of this vid, the OEM TRD leather seat covers, which I've shown in my pilot's episode. And I've mentioned there as well that if I couldn't find exactly the same design here in the Philippines, I would settle for something simpler. But being the semi-purist that I am, which I know deep inside won't be satisfied by simpler, I went with a general rule. If you can't obtain it, have it fabricated in its precise OEM specs. So that's what I did. Based on that short clip, as a graphics designer, it was but natural for me to render this OEM design. And these are my renders, which includes my specific instructions to the fabricator on how I want it executed. On a side note, to abide with the standards of intellectual property, there must be at least a dissimilarity of 20% in the design. That's why my renders are slightly, just slightly, different from the original. By the way, as I've shown in my second episode, my last row is different from the stock of the 7-seater. So, my set of instructions for that part is quite lengthy. And Seatmate Auto Interiors delivered. By the way, you can't miss this Alabang branch, because there's a gigantic billboard up front. Anyway, at the transaction's onset, I told them I have my own design, and I asked if they do cater to such requests. Obviously, the project was sealed, and here we are a week later. And if I may say, I think the first OEM Indonesian domestic market TRD inspired leather seat covers here in the Philippines. Finally, if I may add, because of my renders, this template is now available at Seatmate for my fellow rushers. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Land Philippines and subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out, y'all.